I used to weigh 220 pounds and I looked like this. And then I got down to 150 pounds and looked like this, lean and mean. And it took me a very long time to be comfortable with my body, even after the fact. Body dysmorphia affects a huge amount of people in the fitness industry and just normal people alike who are just warped by what is possible via social media, via steroids, via good genetics, and it really makes it difficult to stay on track for your own fitness journey when you're constantly distracted by how other people are doing and how much better they're doing than you potentially. A lot of it comes down to what you actually see yourself in the mirror versus what you used to look like. I myself still see that fat kid in the mirror a lot of the times. When I'm off season, maybe not as lean as I used to be, when maybe I've had a bad cheat meal or haven't been sleeping very well or I've been on vacation and I lose like a little bit of ab definition, it really messes with my head. And honestly, it makes it difficult to stay on track when you're constantly trying to diet and do cardio and train. You're doing all the right things, but maybe you just don't have a good genetic buildup and it's tougher for you to stay in shape year round when some people seem to do it so effortlessly. For me, it's taken a very long time to become comfortable enough with my body where no matter what shape I'm in around the time of the year, whether I'm bulking in the winter, cutting in the summer, maybe I'm on vacation, maybe I'm drinking a lot, maybe I just had a lot of bad meals, to be mostly comfortable with my body and not be afraid to go to the beach or go to the pool no matter what condition I'm currently in. But I know this isn't the case for a lot of people, and a lot of people are still out there struggling every single day to stay in their right frame of mind and get through that next workout, get through that next training exercise, get through that that chicken, broccoli, and rice that they don't want to eat simply because the standards are set so high in the fitness industry and via social media that people think it's real life. So for the purpose of this video, I've gone ahead and picked some random people on social media that I've found through the Explore page or I've seen have, a pretty decent following who are just blatantly fake naturals. And I don't want this to take away from people, like Mike O'Hearn or Simeon Panda who, have been obviously blasting for several decades and maintained incredible physiques throughout that time in their careers. But I just think it's really causing a lot of damage to the mental health of guys when you see this on Instagram all the time and you think it's possible naturally, when the reality is it's just simply not. So these are just 4 random people I've seen. I saw this guy even put up a video where he goes to get his testosterone checked and he's, apparently somehow off cycle when he's doing these tests, or he just paid them, or it's just like a fake result or something. Like, you don't even have to look past this one clip and this guy's not natural, right? Doesn't matter. You can even see it in some of these videos where he's just like, cooking his air fryer meals. You can't have that sort of definition and that, like, look at the vascularity in his abs, right? You can't look like that naturally. He looks like this year round. Incredible physique, don't get me wrong, but obviously not natural. And then of course in his description of his bio, lifetime natural. Clearly lying, right? And then 3 other random people I found, like this guy Logie Foot, natural classic physique. Don't even really have to go too far down this guy's page. Like the first picture you can look at, or the first video, like quite obviously this is not natural, right? And it's, again, looks like an IFBB pro bodybuilder. Looks like Arnold stepping on stage. Got the same chest as like peak Arnold when he was obviously blasting massive cycles. You just don't look like this no matter how long or how hard you train. You're never gonna look like this. And then of course, natural classic physique in his bio. A couple other random people here. I know this is like a pretty infamous one. Joshua Blaze, who like is actually pretty actively replies to people denying his naturalness, and like you don't even have to go further past this one picture. I mean, that's all you really need to look at, right? You see that picture, that person's not natural. And then just for kicks, this video that is just comically 26-inch arms. Yes, he has a pump. Yes, he's all oiled up, but sorry, your arms can never look like that no matter how long you train, no matter how well you train. It just doesn't work like that without steroids. And then finally, I thought this one was kind of funny to throw in. I've seen this guy doing some videos on the Reels page, and obviously he's massive and he looks incredible, don't get me wrong, but you don't really have to go too far down his page to see that this is just like clearly massively blasting and enhanced, right? He's bigger than most NFL football players. He probably weighs like 240 pounds and he's just insanely lean year round. And I thought this was someone who, he doesn't have natural in his bio, so I wasn't really sure if this guy was. And then his first post that's pinned has some people calling him out about, when's trend day, and then he actually goes through and denies that he's on steroids. So why do I show those? Because it's important to get an understanding about social media that this is not real life. These people, there's literally thousands, and by the day it seems like more and more fake natties going onto social media, TikTok and Instagram, and putting up videos like that make it seem like you can look like that. if you are a natural lifter, you will never look like these people, so don't stress about it. That's the thing. I think, the damage that it's causing is by people train for 2 or 3 years, maybe they lose like a bunch of weight. Like I lost 70 pounds, got abs, got in shape for the first time in my life, and I don't look anything like these people because I'm not on steroids and I never will be. Maybe I'll take TRT later in life, but I'm still young enough that I don't think I need to at this point. So I look at these people and it just like really, really hurts and damages like my perception of myself, because I'm like, wow, maybe these, when I first started lifting, I'm like, okay, maybe these guys are natural. I've been training for like 3 or 4 years now, and I've based off of what you see at the gym and what you see on Instagram, like what is possible and what's not. And especially someone like me who doesn't have good genetics for bodybuilding or staying in shape, I naturally maintain a lot of fat. I don't have high vascularity. I don't respond very well to training. And that's not to say me complaining. I think I'm happy with my shape and I have a good physique, but I just will never be a bodybuilder. And that's just like the reality of the life. So what do I say to this? I personally just try to stay away from these kind of people on Instagram and like just don't follow them and just don't look at it. Like I think it does a lot of damage, and I'll go through and like actually like click not interested on these kind of posts to just minimize the amount of people I see on my feed like that. And then I also just kind of take it off with a grain of salt. I don't go through their pages. I don't follow them. I don't support them. I think if you're lying to your fan base, causing damage to the mental health of young guys, that's not something I can get behind. So that's what I would recommend to anyone who's like, dealing with this kind of thing. And then in terms of your own mental health, things like therapy, things like eating well, things like dieting, things like, having a support circle around you that you can share some of these struggles with, goes hand in hand with getting over body dysmorphia. At the end of the day, really just, understanding where you started. If you're someone who was really skinny and then you got like pretty bulked up and you're in good shape and you're strong and you're big and you're muscly and people are commenting on how strong you are, that's awesome. And take your progress pictures as the way to benchmark yourself, and don't compare to these other people who are blatantly abusing steroids all over social media without any repercussions, because you're going to be the one who's living a longer and healthier life at the end of the day. So my advice, take progress pictures, see your own progress, and only compare yourself to earlier versions of yourself. At the end of the day, you're only really in a battle against that person in the mirror, so you shouldn't be too caught up with what you're seeing on social media and what these people are selling or trying to get you to do. And then even going further than that, try not to support or tear down others who are on social media and actually like are showing improvement and are putting in that time and are grinding in the gym and are dieting. You don't know where they started. You don't know how fat they used to be or how out of shape they used to be, and how far they've come could be a massive improvement versus where they used to be. Like people see me and I get roasted all the time for having like a mid physique or not being in shape. But then I look back on pictures of myself when I was 220 pounds, had a bunch of stretch marks, didn't even look like I could run anywhere, let alone now I look down and I have decent abs. It's important for me to have that barometer of where I came from and what I think is possible given my genetics and given the lifestyle that I want to have. I don't want to give up alcohol. I don't want to give up traveling. I don't want to, like we talked about, get on PEDs. So for me, having like a mid physique, if that's what it ends up being, is where I'm happy and where I'm able to enjoy my life somewhere in the middle and not get too stressed about the little things. So hopefully this video was useful. If it was, feel free to leave a like or comment in the section below. Always helps the algorithm. But as always, my name is Alex. Welcome back to Lifting Nomad. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.